Aho. Ho'oponopono, Jabagwan. Namaste, house, oosh. I'm like, do I have something in my teeth? Please tell me. Do you love me so much to be honest with me and to tell me the truth? Will you tell me all infinite truths where there be transparency and infinite truth and infinite wisdom? I will share all this truth with you, especially as you hold a space and container to allow yourself to receive all that is me. Will you love all that is me? Will you be a sacred heart for me? Will you be an agent to my happiness, or will you be an agent to my destruction? Ask yourself this question. Don't tell me the answer. It's between you and our Lord in heaven, right? Your heart, your toroidal field, your essence, your vibration, your accessing of essence. I am thankful to God Source right now giving me permission to channel this message and this frequency to you. Oh my goodness, the downloads and information that have become available to me after I have taken time to pay attention to myself and my personal energy, my personal truths, my personal transparency coming in at this frequency, downloaded to you at this time. Shall we begin? I'm not even certain where to begin. There's so many different fragments and elements that need to be incorporated into this dialogue, and it's quite unfortunate that there are human beings who are not interested in even listening or hearing or being present or loving, being one, connected, love. What is love? God is love, right? All these different things, like, people forget, they don't see, they can't understand, they don't hear, they don't even want to be, they want to do. They're human beings, not human doings. We get so fixated on control and manipulation of forces, we forget God's will, and we are ignorant and stuck in our will. However, sometimes we forget that our true will is actually God's will, and which is why we are here, because we said yes to all of this infiniteness that is yes, that's me, yes, I, the I frequency, allowing the self to be. Okay, so I personally have experienced an expensive, heavy debt of karma or trauma, ancestral healing, epigenetic memory, many different bullet points and names and terms that you could possibly reflect upon on your own time. However, at this time, I would like to encourage you to focus on your own heart. And yeah, notice, are you Hakuna Matata? Are you no worries? Or is your spleen hurting right now from all the worry? Do you remember everything, or have you blacked out and been traumatized by all that you have seen and heard? Are you having a TBI, a traumatic brain injury? Are you recognizing? I have recently received one of the greatest gifts I've ever received in my life. And honestly, like, the discipline I need to sit still and really be with this book and all that it really is. Okay, and I've taken some time to practice and study some of my own personal things, which I will at some point possibly share with you. Possibly. Maybe if you're really nice, or maybe it'll come at a personal level with those who book a private session with me, and the personal people are really meant to hear that, okay? So I know a lot of you are coming here at this time, and that you have all these intentions and all this great wisdom and all this love and all this understanding, and you need to know that your hate is also love, okay? So if you hate, oh my God, 2 chicks on skateboards, okay, so let's say you hate that, right? You hate that. Okay, because you're jealous because you can't skate, or because you're not a girl, or because, I don't know, you're not looking super cool like that. Okay, like, see where your resistance is. Like, I don't even know how to frame this stuff, okay? And I'm trying to, like, incorporate play. There needs to be a little bit of play, okay? But I'm not trying to play you understand? I would like to be transparent with you about my personal understandings of life. And I've had some of these recent meditations that have surfaced some immense information that is just so condensed and I almost want to say holotrophic. However, I don't even officially know what that word means, so I don't really feel comfortable using that word. I am supposed to do this video, this journaling, with my tripod and outside, and possibly actually doing makeup and like going all out, you know what I mean, as I've been trained by the way the vortex of Illuminati, right, this brain control of liking people or whatever's going on, that there's been a way of consciousness of understanding what needs to be done to be perceived as healthy. Which essentially is the ultimate thing that we are attracted to. And another common theme right now is the waking life. And many of you have seen this movie, and it's so interesting because just this year, you know, or like maybe in the last few years, maybe I'm like, help me remember. What is it? See, trauma, blackouts, trauma. I'm just kidding. Not kidding, but also there's fractals here, like where the brain is able to only access X amount of information at all times, even though the brain, or whatever you want to describe this I'm passing my location. This motherboard of information. See, I should have followed instructions. I was guided before to like pull over and get in this nature spot. And now I'm seeing like another opportunity actually. Of possibly following this instruction. But what's happening is I'm excessively sensitive. Hey, awesome. I'm excessively sensitive to different toroidal fields. So like sometimes it's important for me to get like isolation. And sometimes I can only get that by traveling through the vortex. Or anchoring at a station that is suitable for me, which I think is funny because I have just anchored down at the local skate park and I didn't even know fully consciously that there's like a skate park right here. Like right across the street from the Anastasia Fitness Center. So it's pretty awesome. I need to brush my hair and take care of myself and possibly brush my teeth for a second time today. I have done so much work today and it's not about me getting praises. It's so much deeper than that. It's almost like you're planting seeds for the days of tomorrow and like we're earning each day because we're planting seeds and we're watering the earth and we're taking our time and we're using our breath for something that's really important. And that's like taking care of each other and the whole and understanding like what's going on, the loops, the patterns of time and what we know scientifically and like applying this to our everyday lives of like not believing these subconscious belief systems that we are stuck in a paradigm of money and all this illusion of universe and illusion of universe. Like this comes also back to yin and yang and polarities and duality, and you could say the falling of man, like where that illusion was created, all those different stories and different things that come together. I'm so grateful for Brian. Thank you, Brian, for telling me the fall of man. Like I didn't even know what that meant until you described it this morning. So it's been interesting to add that into what I'm meditating upon still. So please be patient with me because I'm just definitely like not feeling this like completely, you know. My ego is already thinking about like deleting this video. Another part of me just wants to like go be in the nature, but I'm also, you could say, I'm not dressed for the occasion. Like I might need a pillow. I'm just kidding. I would totally destroy this dress though, and you know that like that's just what I do. And I don't like to climb trees, but there's like so many people, and again I'm not appropriate for climbing a tree. I did not see this coming of this opportunity, but I've always loved climbing trees and connecting with the earth in this way. And I used to always totally like the idea of a fancy little tree house and like literally having the tree in the middle of the house. Like I've seen some places around that are now like Airbnbs that people have turned into these dream places, and you know, thank God for the internet, right, or whatever, that's allowed us to discover other people in this new light wave frequency or paradigm of time. Like yeah man, I'm able to communicate with people in Peru and like make artwork. I'm thinking that about this piece, you know. Actually I think he was somewhere else. I did originally meet him in Peru though, but thanks to Instagram I was able to stay in contact with this person. Dude, it is so busy. I'm gonna have to just like, you know, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I'm waiting my turn. Yee-hoo. All right, so now so another subconscious belief system that we buy into is the idea of time. That I have to do this at this time. There's a schedule and I have to plan everything and everything has to be like this, you know, but it's not true. It's not true. We get so comfortable about being able to like play God or whatever and have that. I'm noticing a big pattern of like this energy that says goddamn God, like where so many people are just so mad at the world and mad at God and just mad at everything. They don't understand the purpose of life, and they've just like They don't want a heart anymore, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to be, they don't understand humanity. And I feel like humanity is in danger, and that we desperately, desperately, desperately need to put our love into humanity. And people don't even know what this means. Okay, so maybe I should just roll with it and just give it to you, you know? I would love to show you also, like, dude, look at this beautiful tree. It's just so beautiful. Just, and St. Augustine energy is just, oh, it is to die for. I wish I could like zoom on this, but I can't. I think transparency is best, you know, and not editing and not like doing all that work. Like, work is supposed to be fun, right? Like, it's my work, it's my job, it's my purpose, it's why God has me here. I'm supposed to like love and enjoy life, and to be a model, like to show you like this is how we roll. This is how we roll. So I have so many different things to share with you, and one thing I'd like to throw out there as like a fun meditation. So this is like for those of you that need to go to the bathroom or need to do whatever, you know. Why does it make me so red? I'm so red though, but I'm not really that red. Well, whatever, forget the visuals, okay? So it's interesting the way that this is trying to play with the energy. And I definitely think that there's some type of like toxic energy between this and like the device and like radiation, all these different things that are like not good for the body. But please allow me to continue. So the meditation I'd like to give you is something like really, really dark thoughts. So again, if you want to pause or like move ahead, you know, it's up to you. It's up to you. You can just leave right now, okay? But I'm going to throw a really wild thought out there. Like the most wildest thought that you could ever think. Brace yourselves. Okay, so, oh my gosh, so we know all these things about quantum physics, right? And all these things about nanoparticles. And like being able to put these things inside like the air, you know, to block out the sun or to create like all these nanotechnology that like you can't see and that you like can breathe in. You know, and all these like little tiny fractals, right? No matter can be created or destroyed. So us as man, we have made this thing. And then like it's all over the earth, right? And like let's imagine that there are ways of controlling those waves and those frequencies and creating like a little bubble around you being 6 feet. Okay, like everyone's 6 feet, but everyone's in their own bubble. Okay, but then in your bubble, you're allowed to see and witness the universe as certain ways, as these light particles and all these photons like can be controlled. Like each person is basically into this bubble that is like an illusion or a hologram that is surrounded by them. Like, it is so crazy of what the possibilities are of what could happen to humanity and like what is maybe already existing if time doesn't exist, you know what I mean? But that idea, like, I don't know if you can even picture it, you know, just like imagine there's an invisible shield around everyone. It's like a frequency or a wave. And then like everyone inside your dream world is in your dream world. You understand? But there's also vibrations of this world like really being our dream world. Like we are literally creating and manifesting everything. And there's so much magic here on the planet and in the earth and over the times and the ages that people just forget. And they are exercising these magics or this practice, this art, this witchcraft, this voodoo, whatever you want to call it, okay? This action that is you, this vibration, this field, right? How many times have you been afraid or like controlled the forces, you know, turn down the radio or some type of different thing? I know that there's tons of people out there who have had this experience and they are told that they are crazy if they think that they've done this. But there are so many people that are like, oh man, I got this skill, you know what I mean? And there's some people that, you know, you have to notice that it's not like you're intentionally trying to do it. It's like it just happens when you're upset or whatever, okay? Like the X-Men, okay? And people need to see and understand deeper into consciousness. And I just wish that I could just give you everything, but I can't because so much of it is like half of the fun of this life is that you're discovering all these things. And, you know, a lot of times my intentions with these things is so that people who, you know, have opportunity to learn and grow. Like here I am. When the student is ready, the teacher will present itself. Like I want to open a school. I want to tell you what your psychic gifts are. I want to be of service to you. I want to make a living just doing this. Nothing but this. Just doing this. What I'm doing, this is what I want to do. And I'll do it donation based. Or like if you want to like help me in, right? Or like whatever. There has to be a structural way of like $222 or some kind of bullshit. Like, come on. Like, I think it boils down to what's it worth to you, you know? And like God will tell you on your heart, like you'll know that you gypped this mother flower, you know? You'll know. And you know your karmic debt with God, so you think that by you paying debt in this way, like it doesn't work that way. People don't understand karma. And I wish I could teach you more about karma and karma. Read the Bhagavad Gita. Like that's I'm just kidding, okay? Like I don't really know everything that I like to pretend that I know. But just know that you are so cared about, and You have all this infiniteness available to you. And the duality is you thinking that you don't. And then it's like, why are you not on your own side and believing and trusting in the universe? When did you turn your back on the universe? Or when did you think the universe turned your back on you? And when did you take time to really process this and talk back to the universe and allow yourself to receive a message? You know, there's so much trauma, so much collective trauma of life and the experience. There's no understanding of who your parents are or like what your name means. Like there's so much stuff that's just locked in. And I really would like to get to a very particular topic. However, I am starting to feel like, you know, bluntly put, like there's conditions and restrictions upon this type of conversation on here, and I don't really like feeling that type of way in the universe. You know, it's important for us to all have a space to be allowed and be. I mean, God gave us all life and divinity at this time, so clearly we are all meant to be as one at this time, so it's not really up to us to say, hey, terminate this or that, you know. There's so many strict boundaries, there's so much control, there's so much masking and separation about who you really are. You're telling the world that you're like this or that you're into this, but really underneath your mask, you know, what are you really into? You know, it really gets you excited. And I don't just mean sexually. Now, I would love to get into the sexuality part of this and trying to understand your body and why you're drawn to certain things, and then what you're doing with your sexual energy when you are manipulating people. Not just manipulating people with your sexual energy, but also additionally, I mean, I guess that's a perfect term for it, honestly, okay? It's basically where a lot of times you might be wasting your energy, you know, like using up that sexual energy instead of containing and really building it up and giving yourself all of that jing, all of that energy. So again, the manipulation of energy, and it's also like using other people's energy. Like if I was to use your energy for my sexual gain and gratification in my mind, using you and abusing you in all the ways that brings me satisfaction instead of you, maybe then you can see the polarities, okay, and trying to take a step back. And then there's also like polarities of people having children, and then like, you know, and then the way fathers are behaving towards their spouses or other women or the universe, right? Boys too, right? All the things. Like imagine how they treat their children, because they frame and imagine all people to be this way, but they've been so stuck in their word and their container and in the frames, the subconscious framings, but they don't have anyone taking time and care to be with them. Sometimes you can see it, but it doesn't really help if we don't really have a large platform of education about this stuff, you know? I mean, in some levels we do because we have access to the internet, but how many people are gonna, you know, really get there unless like you could say I'm there and I'm like, hey, here's these links and these connections. This is trauma bonding. This is illusion. This is fantasy. This is sacred. This is sanctuary. You know, like all that. This is holy. I feel like I've delivered a lot of what I'm trying to share. I am going to take some time for myself. It's been very, very difficult to do this. Like, so difficult, just wanting to help and love and create and just do, you know, so I'm struggling to be, so allow me to attempt to go be inside the sauna, because that's where I'm at right now. And yeah, I need like 15 minutes. Maybe a swim, maybe a bunch of other things, but thank you. Please think about these things and feel free to drop some comments. Like let's talk, let's create a community. Like, where's my family, where's my friends, where are we at? You're watching but you're not saying anything. Where are you at? I need hugs. I need everyone to hold hands. I need it to not be so sexual and stupid. It's so stupid from separated from each other. We're being taught and conditioned right now to avoid anyone that's not our family. Do you understand? This creates like incest and like all these other different things that people just aren't really thinking about. If people aren't allowed to leave their homes and leave their containers, and that they are controlled and conditioned. And then the sexuality is also manipulated through like, you know, OnlyFans or different interfaces that provide sexual outlets, you know? So like when the masses are being taught that like, oh, people who have orgasms have makeup like this, or to give someone an orgasm you do this and you do this, and there's all this like subconscious, there's all this fakeness in the industry, right? So people are like believing these stories and their brains being imprint, thinking that this is true because it's what it's seen, it's all that it knows, and it's believing like what it wants to believe about the subject, you know? So there's all these different things, but then what's also happening is like there's so many women going without, right? Because like the men can't perform, they don't know how, right? Or they can't because they're using up all their energy, or because they're taught and conditioned to only be removed from that energy and released in that way through behaving in other extremities, you know? And some people's traumas are deeply related into this, that they can only release through engaging with the trauma again and having like their own personal release. So it's so subconscious and it's so deep, and there's a lot of different diets or things that you can take in, okay, like to really change these things. And I don't mean diet as in just food, so please don't be brainwashed and illusioned just by changing your food. That's not true, okay? So I could just serve you forever, and I would just love to, and unfortunately I'm only allowed to do so much. And please take your time, and be mindful. Mainly how you're being used and how you're being manipulated and how your energy is being like sucked dry, and we're not creating any human beings anymore because we're so like brainwashed. We're so brainwashed. And then see all the women who want to be paid. They want to be paid for viewing themselves. They want you to value them so much that you're going to pay whatever price they say to access their OnlyFans, to get that close with people that really care, instead of just being that shoulder and really being there for everybody. Yes, everybody needs money right now, so if you really want to support people in their beingness, obviously OnlyFans is a way that people are doing this right now, especially through this pandemic and all these other excuses or different things that are going on. But if you understood how you're selling your soul and you're selling your life and this is what you're selling, this is what you're, you know what I mean? Like, this is your life. What you're selling is like your life. And when you spend your life, like it's how you pay for your time for tomorrow. It's hard to explain. There's a joke of like your pain is your paycheck, you know, like it makes the days richer. You have a deeper understanding, a deeper value. Every day you pay the price to live your life. It's how you spend your time. How are you spending your time? What are you investing in? How is your now changing from what you did yesterday? And how is like the now never changing, you know? And there's times where we rest in between all the paradigms. So many people are bought into stories that they're supposed to sleep at this time or do this or do that. Essentially, I imagine becoming one with the sun and the universe and the planet, right? That might be the most healthiest way. But we're so taught and conditioned that we have to have a house, that we have to live this way, that we have to pay this much money, and then we have to have running water, and we have to have electricity. Like, we have to have all these things. But a lot of these things aren't necessarily true, and there's like a matter of learning and understanding what's going on. And yes, the power that we have now due to technology. However, instead of unconsciously accessing this technocracy world, let us please meditate and focus upon our hearts and see how we really feel and what's really going on. And I'd also like to point out another aspect that came to mind as well is a lot of girls are putting their self-value into how many people join and like what their worth is, you understand? And they're also, again, like a lot of times they are also expressing themselves in this way because they are not receiving the sexual energy and attention that they are hungry for. So they're like putting out to the whole universe, like, here we are, here I am, love me, accept me, let us create and be together as one, and just seeking that unconditional acceptance, that unconditional positive regard, you understand? If only we could treat each other with this compassion instead of that hate and ignore and that shamefulness. There's so much shamefulness about who you are under the mask, like what you're into sexually. It really shouldn't be that way. One should allow freedom is so important instead of this duality. And like, you know, imagine also again that sexual energy of just taking from somebody instead of actually finding someone who's like really just natural. Like, you could say God just brought you guys together, or that you followed this call, that you were supposed to go to this state, or you're supposed to do this, or you're supposed to do that, and just like, you know, it brought you together. Or maybe you just didn't value what you had. I mean, there's so many different aspects of consciousness in life, and I can't really be like God, you know what I mean? I can only share with you like who I am and what I'm receiving completely. And there's just so much ungratefulness, and like I almost want to call it stupidity. It's just ignorance. It's just ignorance. They just don't even know, and they don't even know they don't know, and they don't know. And it's just really unfortunate because these vibrations that are being allowed to continue to exist, this ignorance, it's not allowing us as a whole to get to like a better place in space and in time. And we don't see that we are the other guy, and how we have the opportunity all the time to just be and live in a certain way. A lot of times when you don't do something, thank you TeresaCrabtree.com for posting about this today, it's about what you don't do. That's what akarma is, the action of non-doing. And it's like ripple pulls effects, man. It's ripple pulls effects. And I wish you could truly understand. But like, you got to take some time to be with yourself. You can and you will, you know, but you have to take time. And then feel free to cast me out and be like, nope, you ain't true. Okay, bye. My goal is to be true, like true to me, instead of like the story that I feel that like everybody else wants me to be, you know what I mean? Like, someone wants me to be an actress and go running and play tennis and get my hair cut and do this and do that. And there's like all these like fetishes. It's insane. The level of fetishes and abnormalities and just like the subconscious algorithms of the way the masses are manipulated. And I would like to enhance you and to see you really, really live your life. Give yourself permission to grow your hair. Okay, I don't care, boy or girl. Give yourself permission. Especially if you got resistance. Like, I can't, I'll be a girl if I do that. That's not true. Do you know how many girls love guys with long hair? I'm one of them. Don't get me wrong. I love men and women. I love them all. I love everyone. Okay? I do. There's just certain things sometimes that are like, I'm really drawn to that. I'm really vibing that. You know, but it's not about us making love to everybody. So people forget that too. It's not about that. It's almost like that amount of love and acceptance, but it's like so much deeper than that. And then there's like a lot of epigenetic memory that is being infused through Kundalini transfers when there is all of these like sexualities and people mating at this time. And like, if people only understood the physics of sex, oh my God, and what that creates in the universe. That's like a whole nother rabbit hole. And only those who truly choose to go down that rabbit hole are really going to find any particular answers, you know what I mean? And what do we know? Absolutely nothing. You know, all this is just a story and a lie and a game, right? But truly just spending a little time waking up and giving yourself permission to do what really makes you excited to wake up. You know, if you're not excited to wake up and you're not excited to like wake up in every moment, like I'm waking up more and more. I'm seeing this. Oh my God, I saw this. Oh my God, this. Oh my God. 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 You know, if you got a blockage in that my God energy, I think that like it's just gonna be really hard to connect with anybody like on that frequency right now. That meaning like God is damning God, like that we are like, it's one of the most intense things. But like we forget. That's all I can tell you is we forget, and we are waking up. And I hope you are enjoying the ride. And again, thank you so much for allowing me to share with you what I've received. I am supposed to go now. I love you. You're never alone. You don't need me. You never needed me. You never will. Message from God's source, yes. Just playing. Please hit the like, subscribe, drop a comment, listen to your intuition. If you're called to pay it forward and pay homage and do something nice for me, there's many options for you. I do have a lot of like really spoiled brat materialistic world bullshit items on my wish list right now, including a pair of shoes that are overly priced and might be uncomfortable, but they look very stylish and they're aesthetically known as being rich people shoes. If only people knew and understood. Oh my God, trick-or-treaters, all the vibrations. And it's so funny because they're witches and people forget the magic and how they use their will to manipulate forces instead of doing God's will, their will. But they say, fuck you, God, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Fuck you, God. I don't care that you don't want me to be with this girl. I don't care she doesn't want to be with me. I don't care about this or that. God, who are you? I'm me. All that vibrations, right? Trick or treat. You want a trick or you want some treats? What you want? Have both. With love. God. Okay, so I love to play. I hope you understand all the playful energy. And oh my God, if you only knew all the other things going on, all these other opportunities have been blessed upon. And I totally wish I had like somebody who is just on my level that like wants to follow me around and go do all I have to do, so I don't have to be like tethered like this. And like that is like brave. And how do I say brave? I mean like we don't care who knows that we're recording right now or that we're live right now. We're just live all the time. Just all the time. And then whoever wants to join in on our party around the world is welcome. Because we're all family, we're all friends, we're all welcome here, and we're learning lessons together, and this is real, and it's not like reality TV or like fake stuff, you know what I mean? And like there's personal conversations and expansion And this is like very valuable, priceless knowledge, yes? So like we have to support each other to like live and to eat and to be. So like when people are doing whatever their hustle is, you know, if they're doing cars or this or that, like keep the community in mind, you know what I mean? Understand the network of what's really happening. And notice what happens when you kill the network, when you don't value each other and you stay isolated and you just expect some other force to take over and to do all this stuff, right? All these different stations, like the gym station, the shopping station, the food station, you know? And then like being able to have your own control over what kind of food you get to eat, you know? I really am a big believer of like whatever is naturally growing on the earth, like, and I can't explain it. So I'm saying please no lab made stuff, like and intentions and energies, all these different things go into the whole thing. I gotta quit or it'll never end. Thank you. Aho. Shanti Om.